One thing I did not want to have was the sense that the performances were theatrical, or that we ever ignored the fact that underneath the work of this this popular author, Agatha Christie. She's after the Bible and Shakespeare. She's the most read author on the entire planet. That's pretty impressive. 66 novels and 50 short stories and 20 plays. It's quite so. So she obviously she's got something, and what's at the center of almost all of these is death. Is often violent death, and so rather than take it merely as a kind of as a sort of Cluedo-style puzzle, which in itself can be incredibly stimulating and fun, and we wanted to have that as well. But we wanted to feel that when each of these characters are in an interview with Poirot, that their answer is a matter of life and death. If they are discovered to have been the perpetrator of this murder, they will die. They'll die very instantly, and they'll be hung in the former Yugoslavia in 1934 in the snow. And so we wanted to feel that there wasn't a kind of, people weren't too sort of familiar with this. I always think, I mean, there's times when you walk through, if you're at an airport and you walk through customs, and 9 times out of 10, I think most people don't have anything particularly to be worried about, and you often get quite worked up as the beady eyes of the authorities may focus on you. So it was a tiny example of saying, look, let's feel that life or death scenario. So also Leslie had to do an accent, and Josh was going to be shooting really early on. So we wanted to just feel as though what you might call the backstory, everything to do with, we'd ask some questions. So you just start and go, well, so what do you have for breakfast this morning? Why do you like that kind of toast? Where did you buy it from? How much money do you earn? What kind of sleep do you have? Do you worry about your sleep? Do you worry about cushions and things like that? You just go like all over the shop. So but they've got to answer quickly, not think about it, but start to have something which is before their very eyes is the beginnings of their character, and then you try and sort of throw them a bit by asking, more specific questions about whether they like someone or whether they agree with the death penalty or any number of things that suddenly they are not somebody reciting words on a page. They are people who are also doing the thing I really wanted, which was to react in the moment. A kind of a quality in Agatha Christie we were trying to resist was the idea that the structure is so classical that crime happens, facts established, evidence given, and then a summation given. Usually the detective comes in at the beginning of the last act and says, I've gathered you all here today. I know the answer. I'm so clever, I know the answer. I'll lay it all out, and then I'll tell you who it is at the end. We wanted that to be happening before our very eyes. And Poirot is not certain about who did this until that very last moment. So constantly we wanted to feel as though, and there was a specific example with Daisy Ridley. We're in the scene outside the train, we're in the snow, and we often like to keep the camera running and sometimes improvise things and just keep going. We just say, okay, keep going, don't cut the sharp cut. And in so doing, she forgot her lines one moment, but I'd always said to people, if you do forget your lines, keep going, just keep going, because obviously we can get the scissors in and be fine. And we got to the end of the take. She said, oh, no, so sorry about that. I said, that's in the movie. What just happened is in the movie, because as you forgot your lines and then decided that you'd keep going, what I saw was the character, Mary Debenham, lying to Poirot and having been caught out lying. It was really electric because you really saw a completely visible moment of decision, which was real. Didn't have no acting, no schmacting, just a kind of bit of, walking through customs, but except there's a death involved.